is MLB the Show in a spot where the offline grinding and stuff take away from the actual online gameplay? Well, there's a lot to digest with this question, or this thought, rather. And I kind of wanted to look into it and see, or is this game, rather, becoming more like traditional, more so mobile? And I've used this analogy before when talking about mobile gacha games, where in these games, for the most part, like, hilariously, off rip here, I am literally grinding Dokkan Battle, one of the gacha games I play auto while I'm doing this video. Crazy, right? But most of the time in these games, you're spending time not playing necessarily online, but in events and other stuff to get better resources and better cards sometimes, instead of basically ripping packs, which is pulls in this case. Now, to take all that aside and look at it from this perspective, let's take a look and see, are we really, or are the devs taking more so an advantage with the offline stuff versus the online play? Yeah, I see my water all behind me. Now I'm thirsty. So that'll be fun. I might pause it to go get it. Hold on. Okay, tragedy averted. Haha, lol. Okay, but back to it. Let's take a look and see all the offline stuff versus the online stuff, and sort of take a look and see, are we really kind of becoming offline first, online second, kind of grinding with missions and stuff? Let's actually take a deep dive into that. For those of you who don't know, my name is Specs. I make content on the show and all that fun stuff. So leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Ring the bell and leave a comment. Tell me I'm an idiot. Tell me I'm cute. I don't know. But let's jump into it and see, are we becoming more like a gotcha? Let's find out. Now, sort of off rip here, I will state kind of the weird, obvious sort of bit here. Looking at programs from top to bottom, at least to a degree, there are a lot of them. To be fair, have they slowed down? Absolutely. There was 4, realistically. One took a whole month, but it did slow down. And one of the points I'm trying to, not necessarily a good one, but I will say that the last, like, if we're sort of looking from the point here of like Easter, which was what, in March, April, from that point on, we've had 2, 5, 8, 11 programs since in that time frame. So it's not exactly like they're pumping them out, every couple days. It's been time in between each event. Now, in terms of like the player stuff, we get 3 a month. I'm behind to a certain degree. I haven't done a whole damn inning, or 2, but I'm basically done. I just need to wrap up the few missions, and I'm probably gonna do that today or tomorrow. But in terms of that, you're getting 3 a month there. Every 3 weeks, so you get 3, so 1 a week, hypothetically. They added to the evolution program for you, Darvish, and the 3,000 strikeout thing for Clearshaw, which are different in the sense of you're getting, or they're giving out those cards instantly. And mind you, I think the crux of this sort of comes from these missions in particular, where it talks about there's no quote-unquote online-only missions. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I kind of don't care when it comes to online-only missions. I don't think there's a benefit to it, per se. To summarize, when it comes to this stuff, if you want to do it online, they let you do it online. Look at where to play. 1v1 rank co-op, BR, events, weekend classic, play versus CPU, mini seasons, conquest, diamond quest. It covers the whole spectrum. Where we're getting the idea of, well, this is now becoming an offline game, doesn't make sense. It's right there. Now, granted, are there optional online missions that can only be done online? No. We haven't seen that in a while. Is that inherently bad? Short answer, no. The belief should be you can play the game however the damn hell you want to play it. You want to beat the computer's skull in 21-0 every time, and that's how you you gain XP, you gain all this stuff. That's how you unlock cards. I think you should do that. I think that should be how you play. You want to be a sweat and do everything online, you can do that. That's how you want to do it. I don't buy into this whole thing that these missions, because you can do them everywhere and anywhere, make the game inherently bad or worse. It really, I don't think this matters a whole hell of a lot, to be honest with you. If we're talking about the Spotlight, the weekly homework assignment, this took me 2 days to finish, and I was, and mind you, I think they've got a lot easier because these missions were way easier. These where were they? These drop 4 missions were so much easier. It was just 3 innings, you get 5 points, 5 points. I didn't even get the 5 hits with Bush. I hit the 5 home runs. I didn't get any steals. I just do these usually, and these got a lot easier too. I mean, they were like, we're gonna streamline this son of a gun, and they streamlined it. This is way easier. I mean, hell, if you're playing against the computer, you could probably knock these out kind of quickly. You could probably get 4 extra base hits. You might not be going 5 for 5, but I mean, with conquests and stuff, you can knock these out fairly simply, fairly easy. Again, looking at this, I don't see this whole argument or complaint being valid when they're letting you play it online. And if you're that big of a sweat to where I don't want to play against here, no one's making you play against the computer. That's the hilarity. You can do the stuff online. You can play 9 innings of ranked if you want. You can play the 3 inning games since the event, my dude. We ain't stopping you. The devs ain't stopping you. Now, granted, if you want to say they should put online only missions that may be a little bit more middle of the road, sure, you could do that. Have it be, I don't know, instead of 3 innings, have it be 2. I don't know. 3 innings seems fine for a reliever or something. I don't know. If you want to make optional online missions for them, sure, by all means. But I truly, the crux of the situation is I don't see this. I don't think this game's in dire peril of becoming an offline mainstay. It really isn't, to be honest with you, for the most part. Now, if you want to get slightly more into the weeds with it, which we are going to do here, I will admit this stuff kind of does pull it towards that direction a little bit more. Why? Well, 2 cards you could only get. There are cards you can only get through Diamond Quest. For this one, there's only 2, and then some Ball and Habit Packs. This one, there are 4 unique cards only to Diamond Quest that you could only get on Diamond Quest, and then buying them. Same thing here. These were packs as well. This as well. You get what I'm saying here? Like, there's exclusive things that are to Diamond Quest. Now, if we want to talk about the real shift in the matter here, this was a big shift where it just became packs. Now, I do think that this might have been kind of more of a shift to where it's like, hey, this might make things a little easier because it'll drive the prices down of these cards, so we're not dealing with inflated cards. Pricing, that probably a good idea. But again, when you're looking at the cards, yeah, they're exclusive. They're exclusive to this. This is about an hour and a half grind. You might not want to do that. Now, on the flip side of this, if we go to mini seasons, I think this is where the sort of it's becoming offline dish can kind of be can kind of make things more wackadaisical, or at least more intriguing, because cards here you can again only get through here, and there's 4 cards here and a bunch of packs that you can get. Now, however, I think this grind is actually worth it. You can play it over a course of a week or whatever. These things necessarily don't go away. And you can get these cards that help you with that collection. There's 4 here. And a bunch of packs. To me, this seems a little bit more worth it than Diamond Quest, where you get packs in a short amount of time. But here you're getting physical diamonds that you can turn around and use, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a bunch of other stuff. I mean, you're getting... There's stuff to be had here. This notion, I guess, that it's the stuff's a little more annoying. Sure, it's a little bit more annoying. But if they're not doing this all the time, mind you. But I mean, let's be realistic here. You're using those cards for collections. If we flip the script here, and again, I'm not trying to say that this isn't a problem, but if we jump into this and we go to ranked rewards, we go to the program here. We go to the program. What would you rather be using? This 92 Bob Feller that you're going to have to use that is now pennies to get? You're going to have to use this Luis Robert. That's not, I mean, he's okay for it. As you go down, you get even more like the World Series rewards, who are now pennies. I can even pick up my Patreon while I'm at it. Like Ian Happ and all this stuff. Have these prices gone down? I bought him. I really want him. Oh, just for the record, but let's neither here nor there. Or this Manny Machado, like, are they good cards? Yeah, they're a little bit better, but you're forced to use these cards. You can't just collect them and forget them. You got to use them to get them points, my dude. And that's the online state of things. And mind you, that's eliminating events entirely. So, what are to revisit the original crux of the question, the start of this video, is it on offline heavy? To a degree, yes. However, I would say it's more just they want players to play the way they want to play. If that's offline grinding to beat the snot out of the computer, beat the snot out of the computer, my dude. You go absolutely wild. You do the most is with your toasters, right? If you're an online player and all you want to do is events and rank, you can do that too. I think there's validity to both. You have to play the way you want to play. And at the end of the day, should there be online exclusive missions? Sure, I don't see why the hell not. Why not? I think it would make things better, but the original crux of the matter is everything here an offline grind? No. I think some of the stuff that's kind of thrown in the mix might be. But to state that this thing is offline, I wouldn't say the preferentials necessarily in one way or the other. I think it's more so balanced than anything, especially at this point. But could they do things to make things a little smoother? Absolutely. I think they're making strides, at least it seems to a certain degree, to be a little bit more inclusive and a little bit more flexible. We'll kind of see how things happen, especially with content kind of hitting the break to a certain degree as we pick up. Again, this week's not going to be, for the record, as we kind of put the bow on this thing, for the record, I just want to point this out, that this week in terms of the content's going to be very slow. The furling we have is ranked on the 8th, and then nothing until the 11th, which is Friday. There's nothing really to Friday as we head into the All-Star week. So in terms of content this week, it's going to be kind of slow anyway. So you can do ranked. It ranks your time to shine. Because we're not going to I don't think we necessarily have any. There's more, but there's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of stuff that's going to happen. It's just going to be a slow week. So if anything, it's an offline week anyway. I think if you're really that upset about it, there will be the multiplayer stuff for week 1 and week 2. Hey, go crazy. But I don't think we're in a position to be like pointing fingers saying this game's losing its head. So ultimately, at the end of the day, is the game kind of leaning in a direction? No, it's not leaning in one direction. It's just sort of saying how you play, you want to play. If you feel that it's not benefiting the online player, sure, I guess have at it. Let me know down below. Maybe I'm wrong. As you saw, I'm not the greatest online player, to be honest with you. I haven't really been playing this game a whole hell of a lot either. I've been playing other stuff. It's fine. But I do understand people getting burned out and all this other stuff. I understand sometimes the grind's not for you. For the love of God, if you are one of those people, like I said, look at the content. There's not really a whole hell of a lot going on this week. Take a break. Play something else. There's plenty of games out there. That damn horse racing girl gotcha game's popular all of a sudden. Go play that. I don't watch another streamer. I don't like always take time for yourself. That is the point at the end of this. Okay. And with all that being said, my name is Specs, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.